Hey, welcome everybody to a special Wednesday episode of the Uninformed Fan. We're here down in the Sunshine State. We're ready to talk some sports, talk some golf, talk some shit, and get it going. I am your host, as always, Tyson TRL. Business time with me as well as Jeffrey, my good friend, off of the schneid. Jeffrey, how is your hump day going, my friend?
Good. Finally got a day off today. First day off since February 13th, I guess. So, it was a crazy month of February, but we made it through, and now we're going to go back to some normality here in terms of life and work and, extracurricular activities as well, too.
Well, life is fun. Life is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whew, as everybody knows, most people know, I don't have any kids. My dogs are my kids. And my God, they're expensive. Holy shit. So we looked into getting some pet insurance on these guys, right? And pet insurance is like $250 a month. Now, I'm thinking to myself, $250 a month for pet insurance. Like, for humans, we pay, I think, $500. So you're telling me it's almost 50%. Well, as everybody knows, Mr. Achilles had a little puncture wound. That cost us like $500. And then we go in for their annuals and their shots and stuff so they can function in the life of society of a dog without being ostracized, without a COVID-19 vaccine. And,
You got your dogs vaxxed?
Yeah, they're vaccinated against COVID-19. Absolutely.
Are they vaxxed against COVID?
It's a very serious thing out here,
Yeah.
especially in Florida. You can't walk around without those tags.
Especially in the dog days of summer.
Right. Which apparently we are at. And we get out there. So that's $1,200, right, to get them both vaxxed. And remember, he had a little thing on his paw.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to turn this down here a little bit.
Don't worry about us, guys. We're just giving Tyson shit for his mic right now.
Well, as you can see, I got a brand new blue mic, and it's very nice. Very nice. So we get that bill, and it's like $1,200. $1,200 for that one. And so he's got a little thing on his say he needs his teeth cleaned. So we get an estimate for that. And that estimate, they won't give you a full value until they get in there and see what's actually going on. The estimate is between $800 and $1,500 for that. And then apparently my little one needs hers cleaned as well, which that estimate is between $600 and $1,200. So literally in a span of a month, we're gonna drop like $4,000, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here, man? Like,
hey, man, those are your kids, bro. You got to take care of your kids.
You gotta take care of the kids, and then my in-laws who they treat them like their grandkids the same way. They watched a documentary on dog food. Everything that goes into dog food, and so they came over and they're like, they need to throw away. We need to throw everything away, dude. Everything away. We don't have anything in the house that is approved to their standards. So I very, very politely told them that my dog has been on this for nine years, and he hasn't died, nor has he had any pulmonary embolisms or brain functions or anything of that nature, and they will be just fine. So,
Do you do the wet food or you do dry food for them?
we do both.
Because we have the wet food that it gets shipped to you in the box, and it comes in little thin bags, you know what I mean? And it's like naturally made out of all kinds of vegetables and everything for ours. And it's a little bit expensive, but it's literally tailored just for them. It has their name on each little packet that they have. You give them like half of one of those every single day to go along with the dry food and supplement in theirs
Yeah, Jeremy, I just want to tell you, shut the fuck up. How about that?
as well. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do
With
know
the wet food.
I do know what you're talking about, but have you ever looked at the ingredients on the wet food?
No.
See, there it is. It's a very interesting down the rabbit hole. And the funny thing that I got about it, as far as the dog food goes, is I told my father-in-law, I go, you should look into one about human food. And you know what his response was? His response was, I don't give a fuck about that. These dogs need to make sure that they're taken care of. No matter the cost, no matter nothing. I say, well, if you want to shell out $500 a month for this, I mean, I have an 85-pound husky that eats like there's no tomorrow. Like
You need some joint custody there. You know what I mean? Like somebody just to share a little responsibility with you.
they do have joint custody because they do watch those dogs all the time.
They're beautiful dogs. I'm surprised you guys don't have like an Instagram page for them or something. Bianca hasn't done that yet.
Oh, it's there.
You know?
I think it's called the Real House Dogs of Windermere.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Well, what's up? I need to see some pub on that, man. You know,
know.
we need to get these dogs in IG famous, man. You know,
It's one of those things that kind of, we're not gonna talk. I
get
love
some
my wife. And
TikToks,
she's awesome. I love
chop
my
it
wife,
up.
and she is.
You know what I
awesome.
mean?
Yeah.
I can't wait to hang out with my wife and my kids today, man. I'm trying to go to dinner somewhere. I want somebody to serve me. It's been 3 weeks of just serving people, and I'm just, you get into that mode where you're just like, you're watching people eat great food over and over and over again every single day, and just continuing to get kicked in the nuts, and you're just like, dude, I really just want somebody to go somewhere and put a fillet that's sizzling on a plate in front of me and baste it in butter. That's all I really care about today.
What's that place over there on Conroy Windermere? Blackstone. They do that exact same thing there.
I've been there. It was actually surprisingly good. I feel sometimes when you go to those places and you're cooking your own food, it's a huge cap, but that place was actually pretty good. I loved it.
I remember back growing up, there's a place called in Peoria, Illinois, called Alexander Street Steakhouse, which was like everybody's like big thing to go to, and that was the thing, is you cooked your own steak. Now back then I was a little bit younger. I actually worked there as well. I watched numerous people burn the shit out of their steaks or whatever, and I watched them eating this charbroiled hockey puck that they paid $50 to burn themselves. And I'm just like, if I'm paying $50, all right, I'm going to pay the extra $5 to have it professionally cooked. And that way, if it does come out fucked up, I can get a new one. I never got the fascination with that, man. I never did. But anyway, what do you say we talk a little sports? We got a great little segment coming up for you on the second half of the hour. Hopefully our guys wake up and they're
They're awake.
Coherent and to do it. It's going to be a Gap Wedge Wednesday where we're going to have some celebrity takes. So celebrity takes. We'll call them celebrities. Why not? Let's give them a little piece.
Local celebrity.
Yeah, local celebrities here around the watering holes. We're going to give a good take on the golf for the week coming up. So we did have some breaking news right before we got on the air about Jalen Carter, who looked like he was going to be a Bear.
Yep.
Probably
bear down.
Probably
still be a Bear.
Let's be honest. He probably still will be a Bear. But a warrant is now out for his arrest. That has come out that in regards to the entire accident that killed it. Was it his teammate, right? A teammate?
Yeah, it was like the teammate and the recruiting coordinator that they had there as well too.
Oh, two people died.
Yes.
Oh wow! I don't even remember really seeing this, but apparently he lied. He was there. Now he has warrants out for his arrest. Our producer.
Did you read the report on it?
I read the report that just said, "Well, why don't you tell me?" Because
So I just saw this actually, and it was 2:30 in the morning. They were leaving bars downtown Athens, and it says on the report that both players were racing. They were going at a high speed of rate, and that at certain points, both of them were not only weaving in and out of traffic, but were driving the opposite lane into oncoming traffic, speeding around as well. And then the toxicology report of the kid who was driving the other car came back at like 0.18 or 0.19, something like that. So he's at least 2.5 times over the legal limit when it comes to that as well. So listen, we always say, just get a ride. You are the potential that you have to lose does never outweighs that risk. Like, just get a ride. And most of these NFL teams, they'll provide you with car services and stuff like that. It's very interesting. Do you see
that would be illegal as he was still enrolled, was he not?
I'm sure the way that colleges act now, and especially, I'm sure there's free programs that it's, hey, are you drunk? We'll come pick you up. Don't worry. They have them all over college campuses whenever you go. They had it back when I was going to college, and you're talking about, 2004, 2005, 2006. So I'm sure now it's only elevated to the umpteenth degree, especially with how hyper aware we are, and we want to be in everybody's personal business when it comes to most of this stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm sure now
I'm not doubting the program or its validity. Yeah. Let me just go.
Well, I'm just saying, like, let's just make smart decisions. Did you see the Deion Sanders? this made me think about this, right? Actually, we'll get back to that in a minute. I want to hear your take on Jalen Carter.
My take on Jalen Carter is a kid that made a mistake, freaked out,
Yeah,
and just ran away. And unfortunately, he's probably going to face some consequences for this. At the end of the day, as most lawyers will tell you, if you're not there at the scene of the accident when something happens, and he didn't give a breathalyzer, I don't believe, when he came back and they talked to him. So as far as the drunk drive, I don't know. There's probably going to be some stuff involved, which I don't understand. If he was in the other car, like, there's cameras on every intersection these days. There's no way that they couldn't see what exactly happened. And maybe that's what's coming to fruition here. Maybe after internal investigations reviewing the cameras on the streets, it's not like the 70s and 80s, man, where you could walk in and rob a bank and nobody knows your face because there's no cameras. There's literally Big Brother on every single corner. There's no way that the truth's not going to come out. Here's the scary part, though. The real scary part. We can admit the kid made a mistake, and unfortunately people died. That's the ultimate right there, unfortunately. But it does happen. It was a kid that made a mistake. I don't think it's going to affect his draft stock whatsoever.
I don't think so either. And it's he's not getting charged with murder here or anything. He's getting charged with reckless driving and racing. So listen, you're not getting charged with a DUI. You're not having that already coming in. Slow it down. Have somebody drive for you. End of the day, you're going to be just fine. It will be interesting. There's still a lot of smoke about the Bears trading that pick as well, too.
Oh, I think they're going to trade twice because, moving along into some of the other things as far as this combine that starts this week is going to be absolutely huge. Which Carter as well was not participating, but he was going to field questions, and we did get buzzed in from the producer at 10:30 that told us that he did not take any questions. Obviously, he was not available for comment. But
yeah,
go ahead.
No, he was supposed to take the stage at 10:30, and this story dropped at like 10:05. So can you imagine what's going through that young man's head at the combine, trying to take questions, thinking about being the number one pick? Like,
you know what the AP should have done if they were smart. They should have waited until 10:29 to drop the story in the middle of his press conference
while he was on the stage.
Absolutely. I mean, if you really want to corner a guy and you really want to catch somebody off guard and make him answer questions, make him get pulled off the stage. I mean, if that's what you're really trying to do by breaking this story,
great clip.
I mean, that would have been, but it is what it is. But this combine for the quarterback class, which is mediocre, I would say, mediocre quarterback class, is so huge. I mean, we got teams talking about, we're talking about Anthony Richardson. We're talking about the Panthers trading up to number one. We're talking about the Raiders trading up for number one. We're talking about the Texans trading. We're talking about everybody except for Arizona, which to me, you just signed that obviously you got Kyler Murray signed up there, so I guess you consider yourself good. But on the same token, I have the Bears trading back multiple times. I think after this combine, some of these teams are going to be so juicy to get what quarterback that they want. But here's the thing: is I don't think the number one pick is just trading the number one isn't going to bring in the haul that they want. I think they're going to trade back twice, and I think they're still going to be in that 4 to 5 area where they're going to be able to get either Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. So you're going to get multiple first round picks out of this. I would say probably in the neighborhood of three or maybe even 4 first round picks, and you're going to get a top 5 pick as well. I mean, the more juicy that these quarterbacks perform in the draft, in the combine, is just raising the Bears stock up every single minute. The chatter is the chatter, and I really do think that they did good by not squashing the Justin Field trade rumors as well. Let them fly. It's just like poker. You're not going to say, "Hey, by the way, we're holding pocket aces. Who wants to play me?" We're smoking mirrors here, baby. We're doing things the right way. So, there was some other things as far as cuts as well. I was really disappointed when I read the Leonard Fournette asked to be released from the Bucs. I do understand, though, not necessarily, of course they spun it as he was just here for Brady. I don't think that was the case, but I think that he saw his playing time being diminished by Rachaad White, and he was very uncertain of his playing future moving forward, as he was relegated to the number 2 back at the end of the season. and I don't know if you want to call it riding on the wall or something, but he wants to go somewhere. I'm assuming that he can play. You know,
I don't know where that is. I know that he still views himself as an everyday every down 3 down back. I don't know where he's going to go that is not going to already have a guy who's in place to be able to do that, or who wants a guy who he's got great hands. He does have good hands, but rushing wise, it's been excuse me. Rushing wise, it's been like 3 or 4 yards a carry. Yeah, appreciate that. Bless me with the holy water. You know, he hasn't ran at a good clip all year, and I don't know if that's the sharp decline that we see sometimes from running backs that happens. You know, a lot of times these running backs, they hit a certain age and they just kind of fall off a cliff. You know, you got to continue to treat yourself almost like Adrian Peterson style, and Leonard Fournette does not have that body type.
Could it be something on the same lines as well, though, as Brady? We know that we didn't get Brady 100% last year. We knew that. Like, mentally, whenever he wasn't there, maybe Lenny was the same way. Well, if my quarterback's not there 100%, am I going to be there 100%? Am I going to
I guess
myself, you know?
You could say the same thing about Donovan Smith as well, too. I don't think the Bucs are saving that much by cutting Lenny. I think this is just more of a move of, like, both sides are just kind of ready to move on. We appreciate what you did for us. Thank you for a great, 3 years in a Super Bowl, Lenny. We sincerely appreciate it, and good luck in your future endeavors. Same thing with Donovan Smith. Thank you for one great year out of all the years that you played here. We really appreciate that 1 year where you got covered up by everybody else on the offensive line and looked great that year, and you got an extension out of it. And
compliments only here at the Uninformed Fan.
Yeah,
compliments.
And now, good luck to you in your future endeavors in football, but they are no longer with Tampa Bay.
Then we also had some QBs get the boot.
Well, I mean, listen, it was good to see, Prince Andrew get cut. Who is it? Prince Harry got cut from the Washington Commanders. Prince Andrew, that would have been a different story, I feel like.
He'd be playing Little League.
Yeah. Listen, Carson Wentz, writing's on the wall. I'm sure he'll be a great hunter one day if he really wants to play. I'm sure there's a spot in the XFL for him. I thought, it's really cool when you see what AJ McCarron's still doing. I know we talked about that before. Just wants his kids to be able to watch him play, and the way that they light up when they see him on a football field is absolutely amazing. Yeah, Carson Wentz gone. Was there anybody else that I missed that got released?
Mariota.
Well, I thought. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought he left. He got released from the team whenever he decided to abandon the team when he got benched. I didn't realize that it took all the way up until now in the new league year to start with that. So more stuff to come. New league year does start. I want to say next week. I believe March 15th is the beginning of the new league year. And I believe owners meetings are sometime this month as well too. I'd have to look up and find the exact date. We will see what's going on with Daniel Snyder. Looks like they are trying to get him out of there as much as possible. All the stories are that he's pissing off every single owner. The owners want him booted. They're no longer, basically he's done. He won't sell to Jeff Bezos. He's refused to sell to the guy. Jeff Bezos, and now this is the kicker, right? Daniel Snyder is saying that if he doesn't get over a $6 billion offer for the team, that he's not selling the team, that he feels like that's below market value, which is fine. But also, if Bezos is going to come and give you 8 and you're going to say no, then
you lose all rights
you lose all credibility when it comes to that, So
I always said that if you have that kind of money, so let's just you're a crypto billionaire, whatever. Let's just say you're Elon Musk, but liquid, right? Because I think Bezos is a little bit more liquid than Musk is. But let's just say you have that kind of money, $200 billion or whatever. Well, $8 billion to you is absolutely nothing. So I always thought if I was in that position, of course, my dream would be to have the Chicago Bears, and if they valued at $8 billion, right, I would offer you 12. I would give you an offer that you could not refuse, because to me, 12. 4 to 8, there's $4 billion is no different to me. It's 5% of my net worth. Like, get the fuck out of here. Plus, they make money every year. It's a cash flowing investment. So it's I don't understand why he's all up in arms about Jeff Bezos. Maybe there's something there again. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't like him. I don't know. But I think we could all agree that the Commanders are just an absolute disaster.
And I think they're on the way up. I think they're on the way up. Did you see? So speaking of, I know your love of Chicago sports, and I see that jersey hanging in the background as well too. Any words or thoughts that you want to have about what is going down with the Blackhawks and that trade that was just made?
Yes, I do. Right, and I got a little tribute video I want to play right here. Yes, I have
Okay.
I have a lot of things to talk about.
All right, well, I can't wait to hear this. The first hockey talk, basically, of the uninformed fan here. Just fantastic.
It's a historic pick. First time ever the Chicago Blackhawks have had the first pick, and we proudly select.
Hearing my name called, I was very fortunate to be a Blackhawk.
Patrick Kane.
One of the greatest American-born hockey
It
players
just makes
ever.
you want to play better. It makes you want to go out there and make the fans cheer and give them something to be excited about.
Receiver to Taves, right circle, shoots, save, rebound, score! Patrick Kane! A short-handed goal for Patrick Kane! Here's Kane now, juking his way to the right, low left corner, shoots, he scores! And now it's in the net, they score! It's in! It's in! The Hawks win the Stanley Cup over the Knights! Weaves in the middle with a spin around the center, holds the ball, goal! 2-on-1 break for the win, up the King line, left wing to Kane, he scores! Oh, what a play! Patrick Kane is only he can do! You're kidding me. Oh, Patrick Kane! Tee up the highlight reel on that one! The sixth hat trick of Patrick Kane's career will put this one away! And no American player has ever had a 19-game point streak till now! And Patrick Kane has 1,000 NHL points!
That's hockey, baby!
Patrick Kane skating in his 1,000th NHL game.
Boy, that is a photo op of photo ops right there.
Patrick Kane has a hat trick and 5 goals in the last 2 games.
I feel like as a hockey player, you dream of moments like this. I'm grateful to be here with best fans in the world. You guys, thank you for sharing this moment with me.
Just an amazing tribute that the Blackhawks put together for him, and definitely an end of the era. I have goosebumps just watching it. We have tickets coming up for the Lightning Blackhawks game, and we're actually sitting right next to the bench. I was really hoping we were going to get one last shot at the boys, but it doesn't look like it. Kaner, thank you so much for what you gave the Blackhawks over the years. 3 cups in 6 years, just the shots, everything that you did. I really wish that Chicago sports franchises and organizations weren't just a load of shit and actually took care of players on the back end and made it possible between you and Taves, Hossa, Keith, Crawford, Belfour, all of the boys, man, that really put it together. Thank you for giving us something to cheer for in Chicago when we had nothing other than to look forward to than hockey games. It's a very, very, very sad time for us as fans, but we're happy to see you go to somewhere that you want to go with the Rangers, reunited with the Pan Man, who is your boy going through here, which the Blackhawks should have never let go. But again, Chicago sports are just absolute shambles. They have no idea what they're doing, but thank you very much. One of the greatest Blackhawks to ever wear the jersey, 88 Kane. You'll forever be a legend in Chicago. Thank you so much. And Chicago Blackhawks, I surely hope you get your shit together at some point in your life. But yes, that's why I have my little cater here. That we got the Eddie Belfour Hawks here, and then of course we got the Hawks. We debated on whether we were going to go to the game, man, because Jonathan Taves, who's the captain, who is with them, he's not playing because he has an illness which he missed almost an entire season of. But he couldn't really figure it out where he was just getting sick. So he's not getting traded for that reason. Obviously, Kaner's gone. They traded a few other players and eating salary. We have no idea what the fuck that the Chicago Blackhawks are doing right now. They really wasted the end of these guys' career. But Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I almost had a tear. You know, we knew it was coming. Myself and my cousin. Just an end of an era, man. We talked about Chicago sports in general, and as a big Chicago fan, they suck, man. Upper management, they just suck. I mean, okay, we had three cups in 6 years. Okay, that was in 2015 was the last one. We're in 2023, and I'm supposed to accept the fact that we're still eating cap shit from that. Give me a break. Give me a break. No.
Yeah, it sounds like a crutch that you're using to try to make an excuse. Listen, I am not a hockey person, and I admit that to everybody who I come across. There's a lot of things that I do know things on, and then there's hockey, which I know absolutely nothing on. I don't want to blame that on growing up in Florida, but it was also something that there wasn't rinks everywhere. I didn't go outside and skate on a lake and, learn how to do all that. It's tough enough for me to skate. I couldn't imagine. And listen, the level of respect that I have for these guys that play hockey, that go out there and are true warriors, bro. Like, throw out the fights. Throw out the fighting.
Skates, baby.
It is incredible. When you go to a game live, and if you haven't been to a hockey game live, if you are listening to this, I encourage you to go. Just so you can see the sheer speed and the force that these guys play with, how hard they get hit every single time into the boards. It's one of the best sports to watch live, without a doubt. And I truly, truly respect them. And, God bless Patrick Kane. I hope he goes on to continue to do great things. I'm sure you'll still be rooting for him a little bit. It's tough to root for New York teams sometimes, but we always gravitate toward those people. I'll always be a Vucevic fan or a McGrady or, Penny Hardaway. There's certain guys who you're just work done for the Bucks. You know what I mean? There's certain guys you're just always going to root for, and I know that's how you feel about Patrick Kane as well. And we wanted to give you that time to kind of do that.
Like I said, it was definitely an end of an era. But it just goes. It's funny you were talking about Florida and Florida hockey, which Florida has two of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, ironically,
in the Lightning and the Panthers. And that's going back when we were talking about franchise management, is that the Lightning have literally been there since 2015. I think it was 15 when they beat them for the cup, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Me and Mark were there. But one of my good friends, Jeff Scott, he plays hockey, and he still plays like amateur hockey, right?
Okay.
I tried getting on some. No, dude, no. I have the stick movement. I can't skate. I can skate, but I can't stop. I can't turn. So I tried to going out there again. I think it was like 5 years ago. No, dude, no way.
It's a dangerous combo right there. When I can skate, but I can't stop. You know what I mean? Like, you'll find a way to stop. I guarantee you that. It's not going to be a way that you want to, though. Also, it's funny we're talking about hockey. Listen, if you got kids out there, one of my best friends just took her son to the Orlando Solar Bears game this past weekend.
Yeah, those are fun.
And said that it was a blast, dude. And honestly, they've upgraded the food a lot, from what I understand, at the arenas, and it's really just a nice experience to get out there, get your kids involved in something. Something like, back in the day, the only thing I was ever really involved in was, like golf. That was something that I used to go be able to do with my parents and get out there and learn how to play. I know you're a big avid golfer as well too.
Not anymore.
Are you going to Bay Hill this week?
I don't know.
Unfortunately, I work. I'm not going to be able to get out there and head out there and partake. I got some great memories from Bay Hill. We used to just be able to pull up to Bay Hill. We'd sit there. We listen, playing Bay Hill, with your putt, Arnold Palmer Invitational, one of the great tour events that we have as well. But we used to just pull up. One of my buddies lived in Bay Hill, right on one of the holes, and so every year we would just pull up, be like, hey, we're going to the Herring's house, hop in, get out, walk right onto the course, sit there underneath the tree on 18 where they all hit their approach shots, and be able to watch the end of the tournament right there with a beer tent right on your right or left. Absolutely fantastic.
Beer tent, bathrooms. That's all you need to.
That's all you need at a golf course.
All right. Well, speaking of golf, I think we're ready to transition in our very first Gap Wedge Wednesday here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jeff, I'm gonna let you make the introductions, and then I'm gonna go ahead and bring them in.
Go ahead and bring them in. And so I just want to kind of preface this with, a lot of times, being the sports fans that we are, we go out places and, we talk to people and, we get a chance to chop it up and really shoot the shit with guys. And very quickly you learn and understand who knows what they're talking about and who is just a very casual, uninformed fan. These are two good friends of mine in terms of Paul and Chad that they've come up with an incredible formula. And they do very, very well every week. And I've always been very intrigued about the process and what they go through in terms of being able to break things down and get to their picks that they have every single week. They're great at what they do. We want to welcome them to the show. We're going to try to make this an every Wednesday thing. So every single Wednesday, we will have Country Club Chad. We'll have Paulie Parputz over here. And we'll make sure that we get in and we talk about... Yeah, well... I just came up with that on the top of my head, but they're gonna come in. They're gonna kind of break down maybe some long shots that they like, kind of their thought process going into the way the course sets up, and then if you want, take those picks and do anything with DraftKings or FanDuel or anything like that. So we want to welcome to the show, Chad and Paul. Welcome, guys.
Welcome, gentlemen. Golf claps all around.
Golf claps all around.
Morning, boys. How are you?
We're doing fantastic, man. Chad, are you there?
Thank you. Pleased to be here.
It's a pleasure to have both of you. So I'm going to kind of give you guys the floor.
Like he's like one high noon deep in the morning already.
First of all, this guy got cut from work so early last night. I'm so happy for him.
Hey,
to be able to wake up this morning and get here.
I know I had a big day today, so I want to.
No, I mean we appreciate.
I don't know if you heard really earlier. Appreciate that. Well, when we kicked off the show, we said we're bringing in celebrity commentators for this episode. Yes,
local celebrities.
Yeah, asterisk local celebrities. Asterisk maybe my family.
Well, Jeffrey's the one that kind of put the asterisk on there. I said celebrities, and then he kind of gave me the look, and then he said local celebrities, which we're really looking forward to this segment. To be perfectly honest with you, as Jeff was talking about, I used to play very competitive golf. I used to be very, very into it. I used to actually trying to make my tour card, and I've fallen out immensely to the point where all of the people that I used to follow are gone or they're lived. I some of the names that I see on the Sunday leaderboards to me anymore, I'm like, who the hell is this? So I'm really looking forward to this segment to dive in and get a little bit more knowledge of the PGA Tour. So thank you, gentlemen, for coming on here. We're going to give you the floor, and we do have Bay Hill coming up this week, next week.
Yeah, this week starts tomorrow.
All right. So
yeah, they'll tee it up tomorrow morning. We're at API, the Arnold Palmer Invitational, formerly Bay Hill. Bay Hill Club and Lodge. It's a par 72. It's just a touch over 7,400 yards. And it plays a little shorter than that.
I was going to say 7,400 is still a little short for a PGA standards, isn't it?
It's one of the longer courses by the measuring stick. But again, we're talking about
it's deceptively long.
Yeah, and that's you got four reachable par fives.
Every par 3 is over 200 yards. So
yeah, that's big. And then you throw some wind in there. Woo!
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a lot of greens getting hit.
No, it's we've seen everything from I believe 18 under to 4 under. So the weather is definitely going to play a factor. It's looking like we're going to see some wind on Friday in the afternoon. That might, make a decision here or there if it comes down to a matchup or you're picking between one long shot or the other. But yeah, so Chad, you want to
let's
talk
get
to
into
us about some of the
like?
stats we're looking at?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, first of all, hey, Chad, why don't you tell us what Jeff was saying that you guys have a formula that you guys use, right? And when it comes into each week, what you're picking on, obviously there's probably some variables in there that you guys use.
Yeah, I mean, just like any sport, you got to look at the stats. You got to trust the stats. You can go with, like if you go on like PGA Tour or PGA Tour Golf, like the site, you can get all the stats and everything.
So what are you looking at? Greens and regulation, putts per round, those types of stats, or are you factoring driving distance at all, or is it just strictly who hits the fairways, who hits the greens, who can make the putt?
Like API is it's big on strokes gained tee to green. Greens and regulations are huge. Not a lot of people are hitting greens and regulations at API. It's about 55%. So
wow, that's low.
It's one of the bigger things. Yeah, exactly.
55%. So out of
Exactly. I
18
think it's
greens,
like
for those of you that don't know what he's talking about, so like out of 18 greens at 55%, they're basically hitting 9. Basically.
exactly.
Wow.
Yep.
So
Yep. Great
it's a
place.
big
If
thing.
you could get up and down and avoid bogeys, you're gonna do fairly well.
Very well.
So let me ask you a question. When you think when the tour player goes into something like this, do you think, there's a difference between playing for par and playing for birdies? So do you think that some of the tour pros on this are just strictly going for playing for pars, and if they get birdies on the side, that's a benefit?
On certain holes, definitely.
Wow.
Like
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it? 16, the par 5, probably the easiest hole on tour because the sand trap is not really in play off the tee, and they're left with I'd say like a 5-iron in.
Is that the par 5, the dog leg left over the water that you can?
No. That's 6.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, that one's actually one of the hardest because the landing area is not that big, and you have to determine if you want to play with the water or not. Because if you pull it left, you're done. But then if you pull it right, you're going to be in the rough, and the API rough is not something you want to deal with.
Yeah, no, Tyson, he's talking about the hole that I birdied when we played Bay Hill. Do you remember that? I don't know if you remember that. I hit it to like a foot with a sand wedge and tapped in for birdie. Anyway, go ahead. I'm just trying to help him remember.
Oh, so that was your third shot into the par 5 then.
Can you
that was
not?
Probably after 2 mulligans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know Tyson.
You just first of all, I bought those mulligans. Okay, that's bullshit.
Well,
So
let's get into it, boys. Who do you like?
Do you think? Well, I have a few questions real quick, if I may. Yeah. So, is this so? Obviously, a lot of times we look at guys and we say, okay, this guy's a great iron player, right? Like Colin Morikawa. Maybe this guy's a great, short game player. Maybe this guy's a great putter. Maybe this guy's a little bit streaky, and if he's hitting his putts, all of a sudden he's on. Maybe this guy is a long drive hitter, a la Cameron Champ or whoever it is. Is this a course that you think that any of those definitely matter? Like, do we see that this tends toward more guys who hit irons well, or does this course tend more to guys who hit the long ball well, or does any of that factor in this week?
Chad, you want to feel that? Yeah. So
yeah.
So what I would say is you're looking at this is a ball strikers course. So you're looking at an all-around golfer. You want a guy who, if he does miss a fairway, can still get to the green with an opportunity for birdie. You want someone who Francisco Molinari is an outlier over the course of the last 7 years. He hit the ball less than 300 yards. He didn't putt particularly well that season, and he still gained strokes at Bay Hill. So you want an all-around golfer. I mean, Tiger won 8 times here, and you're not gonna find a better ball striker over the course of his career than Tiger Woods.
If you're
find a better golfer,
which is why that round that we played, Jeffrey, why I dominated the entire day, even though I didn't have a birdie until 18.
So, do you think this is one of those situations? Let's say you're building a DraftKings or a FanDuel lineup. Would you go heavy on some of the top guys and then just kind of take long shots at the lower tiered guys who might fit some of that, or do you think this is more of like a middle of the pack one where you can stack everybody up in that between $9,000 and let's say $6,000 range and field a lineup?
No, I mean personally, I would go with the top end guys, and then if you can get as many as if you could somehow fit 4 above 9,000 and then get 2 smaller, like an Eric Cole's like 6,800, I think.
Who?
6,800.
Silly EJ Cole.
EJ Cole. There's a name. See, that's what I'm saying. Who the hell is EJ Cole?
Is that the kid who was up there at the top last week too?
Yeah, at Honda. He was he came in second at Honda. But he's played Bay Hill probably more than
is that 90%
of people. Yeah.
Eric Cole. Okay.
Yeah.
Eric Cole.
He looks actually
like a golfer.
He's actually a member at Bay Hill, really good friends with Sam Saunders, who is the grandson of Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and he's actually destroyed the members there. so they don't really like him. But you know,
he takes
knows
too
the
much
course
money
well,
from him. Yeah, he
and
takes
he's
too much money from him.
$6,800 on DraftKings. So
Oh, I love that. That's a great long shot, and I feel like there's a certain amount of momentum where guys who play well the week before, especially maybe at a golf course like Bay Hill, like this is coming in, are able to perform. Do you see that at all in the stats, Chad?
it depends on the guy, honestly.
Okay.
Sometimes they can, sometimes they have like the best week of their life and they fall off. It's one of those things where, like, if you win, you know, are you going to go celebrate, or are you just going to keep grinding? Some guys got it, some guys don't. You know, with
Jeff knows
with
that.
Cole, has he ever won?
Whoa,
I'm sure he has when I haven't been there.
I know he didn't win when we were against him. So
okay,
did we ever get paid for that? By the way,
can we? Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Ian paid for my golf. So
what do you mean? Did you get paid for that?
Probably. I expect to
But
get paid
anyway.
when I show up to the course.
Okay, whatever. Reunion.
But yeah,
yeah. So Cole, you like Cole?
Thing. It's a new thing for Cole. So
yeah,
he hasn't really been there, you know. So we'll see how it plays out. He does know the course.
Nice
if he
test,
gets him well, he could be another. He could be a good sleeper, at least a top 20.
That's a great pick, Chad. You got anybody else who you like that maybe is a longer shot to kind of perform this week?
Ben Taylor. He's a Bermuda specialist on the greens. If he can hit him straight, it's another guy that if he gets on the green, he's most likely picking up strokes on the green. So, especially on Bermuda.
He has gained strokes in his last 4 events on fast Bermuda greens.
Three top 10 finishes.
His 3 top 5s are all at
all on Bermuda
that have fast Bermuda greens.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Folks,
so
we are digging deep into the stats here. I hope you guys really appreciate this. Not only are we going to talk about Bermuda greens, we're talking about which way the grain's going on certain days. We're talking about which way the wind.
Bro.
You are getting some free, heavy fantasy advice here from the boys.
Yeah, no, honestly, you are, and it's beautiful. And this is why I wanted to bring you guys on, is because when I hear you guys talk about this shit at the bar, I'm like, dude, like nobody else is talking. Like, I'm literally, listen, you can make money in DFS by just picking some guys that you think are hot and playing well. But the way that you guys break it down and consistently every single week get a ROI on what you put in, I think is absolutely impressive. All right, so we talked about a few lower guys. Any guys in that upper tier that we really like this week?
So creeping up to the top of the board, you have the hottest golfer on the planet in John Rahm as the favorite. You've got a tick one point lower than him is Rory McIlroy, who on any given day is the best golfer on the planet. Those 2 guys are under 10 to 1. Entertainment purposes only, I guess I should say. I'm not responsible for anybody's decisions after this one, but what I will do is give you all the information I can and let you make your own fun.
That's it.
You want so guys that are that low, tough for me to get behind them. If you're looking for a guy that's somewhere in the neighborhood up at the top of the board, great course history, great ball striker, is in form right now, you've got Terrell Hatton. And then a guy who just from the eye test, just looking at everything that he's done recently and everything that winners had done coming into the event, I kind of like Tony Finau this week. It's not a popular pick, and I might look silly if he's at Disney World on Saturday riding the new Tron ride. But I like what he's been doing lately, and his skill set fits this course well as to what he's done recently with his game. I know there's a couple guys Chad likes up there as well.
I'm not gonna lie, I love your Hatton pick. He has won here before. That's the only downfall, is that not a lot of people have won repeatedly here. Well, I mean, other than obviously Tiger 8 times, but what was the last guy with I think it was Matt Every, I think. He won back to back because he must have been on fire or something. I don't know I don't even know if he's even alive still. So,
Jesus Christ.
but
Well, like you were saying earlier, though, man, golf is definitely a game of grooves, and when you're dialed in, it feels so easy. But when you're not, holy crap, dude.
yeah, you're just ready for your.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's funny what you were talking about Bay Hill being a complete golfer and a complete, I always felt like if my driving and irons were great, my putting was absolute dog shit. If my driving and irons were on point or were terrible, I was scrambling from all over the place. It was like it was so hard to put it together. Not only for one round, but for 4 rounds. It's just wow.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so
Definitely a tough game.
Yeah, we just had that little Tyson tangent right there, which we always love.
That's right.
Listen, Chad, was there any? You were talking about some of the top guys that you like. You mentioned Tyrell Hatton. Obviously he's a little bit of a head case sometimes and can be. Who else was up there in that top range?
Some of my guys I'm looking at. Hatton. I like another Englishman, Matt Fitzpatrick. He has a complete game. He showed us that with his U.S. Open at Boston last year.
Okay.
Another great ball striker. As long as he can putt, this kid can win anything. Will Zalatoris. He's my favorite. He's my favorite this week.
Wow.
He's been striking the ball great lately. If he gets that putter hot, it's over for everyone. The way he's been hitting the ball lately. And he's like, I want to say 20, 25 to 1.
That's the kid from Happy Gilmore, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Masters fame.
Exactly. And then the one thing about this course is you don't really want to steer too far off the top. I'm pretty sure in the last 7 years, it was like Mark Leishman was the 2017 or 18. He was like 60 to 1, and that's the furthest odds you've had in quite some time, other than Matt Every.
Was that the one where it was like him and Henrik Stenson, I believe, coming down at the very end?
I believe so.
I know Stenson was up there. He used to hit that 3-wood
he hit it. What was it? He'd hit a 3-wood about as far as everyone could hit a driver, and it'd always be in the fairway.
Yep, every single time. Unbelievable. All right, so just a quick recap, just to kind of run through some of the guys that we mentioned. If you guys don't mind just going and just peeling those guys off real quick again. Chad, I'll start with you first.
Yeah, my top tier, I would take Zalatoris, Hatton, Fitzpatrick. Mid-level, I like guys like Keegan Bradley. He has a great course history here. He's a good total driver. He can hit it long, straight. Then long shots, moving over with Eric Cole and Ben Taylor. Those would be my guys I'd be looking at this week.
Awesome. Paul, you still there? I don't know if you're muted or not. I just wanted to double check.
I'm here. I'm wrangling a toddler at the moment.
I can hear it and I understand where it's coming from and I understand what's going on. There's no worries. We appreciate your time coming on here and helping people who watch us be way more informed than we are on this stuff. If you could just run down a few guys if you want to real quick.
Yeah, so again, top of the board. I liked Tony Finau. One of the guys I didn't mention is Victor Hovland. I think he also has a
nice
pretty
pick.
good shot, ball striking. And your mid-level guys, honestly, I don't have a favorite in the middle.
There's really no need.
Yeah, that Ben Taylor pick that we had, if you can fit a couple guys like Cole and Taylor in, Chris Kirk, I guess he's coming off a hot win at Honda. He plays really well. He plays really well in streaks, and
I think he's got like 6 out of 9 top 20s or top 10s here or something like that.
Yeah, he's going to be super popular on your DFS stuff.
Right.
But really like a cash game guy. If you're looking to attack some guys at the top of the board, Patrick Cantlay's never played here before. He's as good of a golfer as anybody, but
course history here is
you want a guy with course history. And Justin Thomas has had a hard time grabbing onto his driver recently. This is a place where you have to gain.
You have to have that driver.
Yeah, off the tee is pretty important at this track. So you want to go at that. So if you can find some guys that are maybe matched up against those guys with some favorable odds, then I would say that's your spots.
I love
a couple
that.
other guys that don't make sense, that are not very good here. I don't understand it because they're great at Honda, which is a similar course that you kind of the similar things you got to do is Shane Lowry and Sepp Straka. Neither one of them have made a cut here. It's ironic, but they're great at Honda. I don't get it.
Interesting. Maybe rounding into form.
Yeah, but I mean, Honda's a week before API, so I don't understand that.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. It is a little tough though to those back-to-back weeks, right? Like if you win at the Honda, it's kind of implied that you're not going to win the next tournament. I mean, unless you're Tiger Woods, at least from my perspective a while ago from watching golf, it was very, very tough to win back-to-back weeks in the PGA.
It is, but when you're closer, like what was it, Brendan Todd a couple years ago won in Hawaii back-to-back. So did JT. So
yeah, Hawaii's vacation though.
But yeah, I guess everyone else wasn't really playing.
Those guys are not stressing between rounds.
No, it's just like I can't remember what somebody was saying. They were talking about somebody playing for the money, and like, no, they don't play for the money. Well, no shit, because the guy's worth $500 million. No shit.
Yeah, that was Tiger.
Was it Tiger that they were talking about? I mean, no shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't have as much pressure as the guys that you were just talking about that I've never heard of that are fighting to keep the tour card every week. It's a completely different pressure when you're actually playing for money that you need to pay for your family.
Trying to pay your rent
versus trying to put fuel in your yacht.
Yeah, that was it was funny that he actually his old caddy came out and said that. It's like, yeah, he never even looked at the payout. He just played for his legacy or
imagine the freedom.
He was only playing to win. Yeah.
Imagine the freedom of that, man. Every time from the time that he started teeing up on the first tee with, I mean, he had different forms of pressure when he started. Don't get me wrong, but now towards later in the career, it's just.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Earl was putting some pretty good pressure on him for the the first part of that entire situation.
From the first time he put a plastic club in his hand.
It's neither here nor there. Did you guys watch any Live this past week? I know they had their opening event. I saw that the ratings weren't very good. Paul, do you ever watch Live, or Chad, do you guys watch Live at all?
Yeah, so the ratings probably weren't great because it was impossible to find just about everywhere. It took me 10 minutes to figure out that I had the CW. And then once I got the rabbit ears out up on top of the roof and I figured out which way to configure the satellite dish, I tuned in. I saw a little bit of Live. It takes a lot to get used to. I don't care if pros wear shorts. I don't care if there's music on the course. I'm all for fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird watching guys who 2 years ago were grinding it out on tour, and
now they don't care because they got paid.
And well, it's the idea that this team sport is such a big deal.
It's not
unless you play
golf
attention
is not a team
to
sport
college.
Unless you're in college.
Yeah, unless you pay attention to college golf.
Even in college,
you're not seeing a lot of teams.
You say, I mean, in college you say it's a team sport, but I played in college. Like, we were all for ourselves, bro. Like,
well, yeah, but then you get that team trophy. It is kind of cool, right? Or did you never get one?
I can't get behind the team.
No, we actually won our collegiate championship, and I actually won the whole thing. So yes, it was good, but on the same token, I still had the first place trophy. So I was still like,
So you think? Fuck you guys.
Yeah. Exactly. Do you guys think that there's any? So I saw a statement made about how last year, Live was a lot more popping because every single week it was a new guy coming over. It was a new guy joining this team, and the teams weren't completely set when the year started. And there was a lot of drama built up between the entire thing. This year is the first time where they have all 48 golfers. They have every single team set. 12 teams that they have or whatever it is, ready to go. Do you think that because there is less drama of people jumping over to Live this year, that will affect how well they do anyway?
Personally, I think yeah, because I mean, you're not going to get a are you going to get another Dustin Johnson to go over there? Are you going to get another Cam Smith? Like great golfers that are still, they're still top 10 in the world as a golfer, period. But I'm pretty sure that now that we've gotten all of our top PGA guys that would think about going, I'm pretty sure they're all gone. Like what's set is set now.
Somebody else went this week, correct? They signed somebody else this week.
Who? Yeah,
it was 2 weeks ago. Was Mito Pereira?
Yeah,
Mito Pereira, yeah.
Oh yeah,
and
all
he does
somebody
blow,
did just recently
all he
go
does
as
is
well.
blow majors,
Yeah,
that was.
I'm a little bitter
insane.
about that one.
You had him to win, didn't you?
Yeah, I had him in the PGA.
You had him in the PGA, and he just completely imploded against Justin Thomas.
Exactly. It was I think it was like 125-1.
Decided driver was a good idea. Up 3 strokes.
Yeah, up 3. Yeah, and then he puts it into the water on 18. That's the first episode of Full Swing, actually. So don't even watch it.
Okay, I will not, Ben. Thank you. Brings back bad memory.
You don't want PTSD.
You're not missing much.
Yeah, I'm. If I watch that, I'd probably lose a TV.
Well, I think like what you were saying, Jeffrey. I think to the point is the people that are on Live are probably going to be Live. I think it's going to be very tough for the younger kids, the kids that are planning on being around for a while, that are trying to earn their keep because they are going to be ostracized if they go to Live, and are they ever going to be able to come back? But I would be curious on your two takes here as we wrap it up for the day, though. Is Liv's impact on the PGA, and I've always said from the start that regardless of how the PGA pros feel about the PGA right now, they should be thanking these guys that left, because soon as they left, all of the stuff like Phil was talking about bigger prize pools, more stuff like that, all of a sudden the PGA just found all of this extra money and now increased the prize pools, increased everything, when this is what the PGA players were asking for a long time. Not everybody, but a lot of the big names left to go over to Live for the guaranteed money, because again, they're on the back ends of their career. And like Dustin Johnson said, hey, look, man, I got paid. I got more time with my family. I'm enjoying golf now. I don't have to pay, basically play for a paycheck. But I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, I look through some of these chat rooms, man, and these old bastards in there just talking about how, Live players need to burn in hell, and that, I'll never touch this or whatever. And to me, it's the more the merrier. Just like we were talking about the XFL, it's not the NFL, but it's still something, and it still gives us football year round. I'm curious to see what your thoughts on that is.
I think you hit it on the head, probably 3 times there. The idea that there is competition forced the PGA to make events bigger. These elevated events with 20 of the top 21 golfers in the world. What we're going to see at the API this week, this will be the strongest field I believe that they've ever had.
Gotta be.
And also, you're looking at the Honda last week. Okay. Chris Kirk wins for the first time since 2015. Eric Cole wins more money in one event than he's won in his entire career. Those are great stories, and they're great for, like you were saying, the old heads that are sitting at home watching traditional golf. But if your fire isn't stoked by that, you had the opportunity to find the CW and watch guys like Dustin Johnson and Cam Smith and some real stars of the game. I mean, there's no denying that these guys are needle movers when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I think the winner, when it comes down to it, and you can have your opinions on why the Live is bad or, the morality of all of that. But when it comes down to sports, I think the winner was the golf fan, the real golf fan. Yeah. And so you have choices now.
It always amazed me though when the guys are like, I'd rather watching golf. What would you say? What are they talking about? Watching Live golf is not even watching golf, and I'm just like,
that's bullshit.
What?
It's still
First
golf.
of all, watching. I'm a golf guy, but I've talked about watching golf on television is sometimes like watching paint dry. It's the same way with baseball.
That was the Honda.
Yeah, watching some of this stuff on TV, like if that's going to be on your TV, that's the only thing that you're watching. I'm sorry, but the excitement's not there unless it's a major or maybe even Sunday, right? Until, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those days, moving days. I mean, whatever, unless it's the Masters. I mean, I could watch the Masters from
I watch the
Thursday,
Masters
6
every single day of
a.m.
my
all the
life.
way through. Correct. Which that still amazes me that we can get wall-to-wall coverage of the British Open, but not the Masters. But anyway, that's a whole different other ballgame that I'm sure we'll be talking about in another month. But yeah, I find it amazing that, all of these players that continue to bash the players from Live. And I'm sorry, guys, Rory, if these guys didn't do that stuff, these younger guys and these people that are coming up wouldn't have the opportunity and the things that they're going to have in futures to come. I think that they're pioneers, regardless if you want to label them a pariah or whatever. They did a lot for the game of golf. Whether you think it's plus bad, I don't know. But none of this stuff would have happened until Live Golf came along.
Chad, what do you think?
I mean, I believe that too. The one thing that I always told Paul whenever we started talking about Live is the way I feel about Live is it's kind of like a minor leagues to the PGA, because I don't, other than like DJ, maybe Koepka if he's on fire, I don't think any of those guys that went to Live could actually win on PGA. They're not top quality. Cam Smith.
Cam
okay,
Smith.
I forget.
Cam
Okay.
Smith.
Cam Smith, but he was a late addition.
So
Yeah, when Live first came out.
So
Yeah, when Live first came out.
You're telling me at a normal Honda Classic and you see Dustin Johnson on that roster, you're not like, he can't. You're like, he can't win.
No. Like I said, he was
Dustin's not built for Honda.
Yeah, he's not his kind of course.
That's not his game.
I apologize. Whatever course that you feel that he slides into.
What was the Boston? He was like 31 under or something like that a couple years ago.
Nobody ever thought Phil Mickelson was going to win the Players last year or whatever the hell it was, but here we are. I mean, I think golfers are just like football, man. Any given Sunday, it's just whoever has it together that week. And to say
that's exactly right.
To say that nobody on Live could compete with the PGA, woo! Those are some serious shots, son.
Hey, that's what I do.
Hot takes, nothing but hot takes on the Uninformed Fan right here, boys. You heard it
Clip
here
it.
first. Clip it, send it out, ship it. This is Chad's take that no Live player could compete on the PGA Tour. Woo!
I said it on his tombstone.
How many?
Make sure you add him at Country Club Chad.
How many tournaments did Koepka win in that 2-year span?
Exactly. And then what? What's
4
he done
majors?
since? What did he do the last 2 years before he went to Live?
Okay, but you could say the same thing. You could say the same thing about
Waste
Tiger
Management
Woods.
3 years ago.
I'm a big
Well,
Koepka
Tiger
guy.
had some
He hasn't been
issues.
good.
Even before
Tiger had some issues.
Well, Tiger,
Koepka said, "I'd rather party, hang out with DJ, fall downstairs at the Masters because of certain reasons, but whatever."
You know what I think? Because I did watch that swing
I'd rather
documentary
party
for a while I was driving to West Palm the other day, and I watched a little bit of Koepka's episode. And the only thing that really stuck with me on that is how he
was
wasn't
that stupid
winning.
ass hair.
No, how he wasn't winning, and his wife was on there talking about he was winning and doing all this, but now he's not. I feel like
And I don't really know if I like him anymore.
I figure like that was just the wife in the ear be like, "Hey, bro, you're not winning. You should probably go take this money so that we're set. Then we can keep living the way that we want to live with you having to win because you might not do it again." That's what I took out of that episode.
Exactly. So now you know where I'm coming from.
I know where you're coming from, but to say that none of them could, I don't know. Well, but unfortunately, we'll never know. Well, actually,
Exactly.
we will because they're allowed to
We'll
play
find
the
out at the
majors.
majors.
Yeah, they go play the majors.
Yeah,
So we'll see them
Watch
together.
now one of them's going to win a major and make me look like an idiot. Oh, well.
Chad, it's
It
not.
wouldn't be the first
it's not,
time,
It's
right?
not a far drive, bro.
That
No, I
would be
know.
that'd be a fun little prop bet. Who wins a major first, Tiger Woods or a Live golfer?
Oh, give me Live all day long. Did you see that man hobbling around the course?
No, but what we talked about this, and I think I think as a Tiger fan and as a fan of the game of golf, I thought that was nothing but encouraging. If he can walk up, if he can walk all over Riviera for 4 days in a row, are you kidding me?
And
He can
actually
walk
performed
anywhere.
pretty well.
His ball speed is still at 180 sometimes. That's
Nothing wrong with the
incredible.
swing. Nothing wrong with the swing.
Absolutely incredible. All right,
All right, boys.
probably wrap this up.
We appreciate your input. Hopefully, if you can, we'll catch you off this. We'd like to get those picks in on the Discord channel under the PGA channel, so we'll have your guys' thoughts and stuff in there all week for the listeners that are coming in and out. Really, thank you guys for your input today. I look forward to the next week when we can recap what we had this week and look forward. And then, God, man, Masters is coming up soon, and I will get geeked for that one. I'm always geeked for that one. But thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys next Wednesday. Make sure to like and subscribe and follow them on any social media platforms. We'll tweet those out for you here very shortly. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you next week.
All right.
All right, good stuff there from the boys, man. I think next week we'll organize that a little bit, and then I think we're really gonna put out some good stuff there.
But like I was telling you, bro, like when I listen to them talk and like the information that they have on like who plays better on this grass,
Bermuda greens, bro.
It's like that's why I'm like, bro, we have to get these people this information to make some money off of. It is insane, dude. They are so good with what they do.
Bermuda Bobby. Man.
Back Alley Brad coming at us on Friday with
E&Ds. Brad, dude. Good stuff.
Some people say he looks like Bradley Cooper, so we'll go from there.
Well then. All right. Anything else you'd like to cover today, Jeffrey?
I mean, I feel like we kind of did well on everything. It's a big week here in Orlando. Just because Arnold Palmer Invitational is going on, it's always a major event. Whole city kind of rallies around it. If you're in hospitality, you're going to be busy all week. A lot of golfers in town, a lot of things popping off. And yeah, I mean, listen, we didn't even touch on NBA. We can kind of get into that on Friday. We're going to start trying to do a show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday going forward. Obviously, Wednesdays will be focused half the show going toward our guys, right, who were just on right there. I know you got F1. F1 starts Saturday?
This weekend. So on
Saturday. I haven't watched the new season. I got me and Amanda are binging it tonight. So
I'm not gonna spoil anything for you on that.
Okay.
I will say though that there's a lot of drama around F1 already. We're gonna have our uninformed fan expert celebrity Clay from Illinois is going to be dialing in with us to talk about F1 and the upcoming season. A lot of controversy, a lot of stuff going on. There's already shots fired from Mercedes saying Red Bull's cheating again, which they did get caught of cheating in 2021 over the cap. So that now they do have a cap now. So it's not unlimited anymore. So they put a cap on the spending last year, or 2021, I believe, to make sure that the little guys could have a little bit more.
I didn't think it was Red Bull that got caught cheating. I thought it was the other one. I thought it was the billionaire Canadian guy who bought the Indian guy's team.
Red Bull got spent $600,000 over budget, but they said it was on catering and stuff like that. But we'll slip it in.
Catering.
Hot dogs. Well, yep. Toto from Mercedes is already calling out shots. About how the Red Bull car is cheating already. Who knows, dude?
Catering? What kind of finger sandwiches are you having for $600,000? Those better be stuffed with A5 and foie gras, homie. That's all I know.
I'm telling you, that whole staff eats good. Eats good. Whatever you want, buddy. Whatever you want. You want sushi flown in from Japan? Boom. Come
right.
in.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that on the second half of the show. We're getting ready for the F1. Then we're going to recap a little bit of the first couple days of the Arnold Palmer. Justice, what's up, buddy? We see you out there. Thanks for tuning in as always. You the man.
Justice, what's up, baby? Let's frag out after this, bro. I got all day.
He's got all day.
What?
I thought you were spending with your wife and kids today.
I'm saying I'm off, and then whenever they get off school, all day is like 3 hours, bro.
So we're grinding Apex?
No, we're not grinding Apex. I can't kill anybody on Apex.
Sucker!
I mean, I can barely kill anybody with this internet right now on Call of Duty, but that's neither here nor there.
That's neither here nor there. Anyway, so we'll try to get the golf guys picks. We'll try to get those in the Discord channel on the PGA tab. For those of you that haven't joined the Discord, check it out on our Twitter.
Justice.
Or our Facebook. Both of them have the Discord link to get in there, join the discussion. That is a completely work in progress. We are looking for some Discord mods, so if you're interested, hit us up, questions at the Uninformed Fan, or just message us in Discord. We'll be happy to look at that. Until then, we're going to talk again Friday. Everybody have a great couple days. Enjoy it. It is hotter than Hades in Florida again. We are in the melting season. It went straight from winter to melting. Here we go.